everybody, it's Kim. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm here to just do my June TBR with you and just quickly go over the few books that I am planning on reading this month. I picked out a few books that I know for sure that I'll read, and then I'll give myself a little bit of freedom when it comes to the rest of them. I'm really excited about June for some reason. I just feel like I had such a wonderful month in May. I read so many books, and now I have a completely just clean slate, a clean palette, and I got a fresh haircut, and I'm just like feeling really good about June. So I feel like it's gonna be a great month, and so I'm excited to share the books that I'm about to read with you. Here we go. So the first book is going to be my Kindle Read for the month. It'll probably stretch into July as well. It's going to be, my goal is going to be to have it done by the end of July so that it's done before I go to England. But my Kindle Read for the next couple months is going to be A Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin. This is the 5th and currently last installment to the Song of Ice and Fire series. I know there's a couple more books coming out eventually. Who knows when that's gonna happen. George R.R. Martin literally seems to take forever writing his books, but for good reason. They're huge and the character development is intricate and amazing, and so I'm super excited to dive into this book because he split up the 4th and the 5th books between the people that live north of the wall. So I got lots of Cersei and Jaime, and I got Sansa and Arya, and people who live in Dorne, and I got their stories, but I didn't get any Tyrion. Tyrion is my absolute favorite character. I didn't get any Dany, so I'm literally like starved. I feel like I'm starved for these characters. Praise the Lord, the first 2 chapters, the first one was Tyrion and the second one was Dany, and I literally was just drinking it in. It's super long, but to be honest, I'm not even bummed about that because I'm just like, I cannot get enough Tyrion in my life. Give me more. My audiobook for the month right now, I've already started, is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I saw the movie for this a couple months ago when it first came out, and I wasn't super impressed. I didn't find it, I don't know what it was about it, it just wasn't super memorable for me. I left feeling just sort of meh about it, but watching it, I knew that there was huge potential for the book to be really good. Maybe with a little bit more character development and description, I would really like this series. So I'm listening to them on audiobook right now, and I'm a little bit intimidated because the series, honestly, there's 16 books in the Ender's Game universe right now, or is it 13 and 3 more are supposed to come out? Something like that. Either way, the series and this world is like, there's a lot to it. Since it's so long, I don't know how far I'm planning on going. It'll all be completely dependent on how much I love this series, but so far it's pretty good. So I'm planning on listening to the first one and then the second one, which is called Speaker for the Dead, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. If you didn't get a chance to view my May wrap-up, I got the wonderful pleasure of finally reading Cinder. So of course, the first 2 books that I'm going to be reading this month are Scarlet is the next one. It's the take on Little Red Riding Hood, and then I'm going to read the 3rd one, which I just picked up the other day, which is Cress. It's this series take on Rapunzel. And what is really interesting is that all these characters are in the same universe and they'll end up connecting. So this series doesn't focus on one character through the whole series, it focuses on numerous characters. And so I find that very intriguing and exciting, and I really hope that it works out, just like bringing all these characters together, because I really loved the character of Cinder and I just like want more of her, and the character of Kai, and I just like, I really could use a full series of just Cinder and Kai, I'm pretty sure. So I'm really hoping that I get enough of them throughout the rest of the series. I need some closure, and I also get to meet some fabulous new characters that bring something completely different to the table, and so I'm definitely excited to get through these. So the next book that I'm going to read is The Gargoyle by Andrew Davidson, and I am very excited for this book because my friend recommended it to me so long ago, and she is going to join me for a review of this book in June, and so that is why it's like way up here on my TBR, and it sounds like super interesting. It sounds like it's about a guy who he's like a burn victim, and he wakes up in the hospital, and then some lady, like a schizophrenic lady, comes in and keeps talking to him about how she knew him in like a past life like centuries ago. I really enjoy psychological books, and so I'm really hoping that this one goes in that direction, and the cover is beautiful, and that is certainly a plus. And the next book that is on my list is the one that I got recommended from one of you guys. If you're watching this and you don't know yet, I take a recommendation every month that one of you guys gave me on one of my videos. I just select it at random and I put it in my next month's TBR, and then I will read it and do a review on it. So for the month of June, I'm reading Written in Red by Anne Bishop. It was recommended to me by Charlene Crosby. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you, my dear, so much for the recommendation, because I had never heard of this book before until you recommended it, and now all sorts of people are telling me that it's amazing, and I've seen it everywhere. I guess it just took one suggestion, and now I'm literally seeing it everywhere and hearing that it's just absolutely incredible. And so I am very excited to read this book. From what I know, it's about a girl who can see the future. Like, she is a blood prophetess, so she can see the future when her blood is spilled. So that's really all I know about it, and I don't want to spoil myself for any more of it, so I'm going to keep it at that. And I am very excited for this read, and I will get back to you with a review. Please feel free to always recommend books for me, and I will take your suggestions, and I love interacting with you guys and reading books that you think are good. The next book I have to lift weights for and go to the gym, because this one is like a hefty read, and it is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. It is like as big as see, it's so heavy I can't even hold it, apparently. This will not be one of those books that I sit in bed at night reading like this, because I will surely fall asleep and drop it on my face, and that will be the end of me. Death by book. I guess there are worse ways to go. I feel like this one is just so hefty and so big and so intimidating that I know I just have to bite the bullet and put it on my TBR list and get it out of the way, or else I will continue to just like push it down and down and down based solely on the size. I keep wanting to say like maybe I'll do it when my TBR list is shorter, but let's be honest, that's never gonna happen. If anything, my TBR list is just gonna get longer, so we might as well just do it now. And the last book that I'm going to do in this video is my TBR jar pick of the month, and I'm actually like really excited for this, just to see like what fate decides for me. So let's do it. Give it a good shake. Okay. Oh. Alright then. I'm not super pumped about this choice, to be honest, but I do want to get this one out of the way. So in a way, I am kind of glad that I picked it. It's called Eyes of Elisha by Brandilyn Collins. I started this book, I would say it has to be at least a year ago now. I started it, and it just like, I got distracted. I don't know if I can say I was bored by it. It just didn't fully hold my attention, so I sort of moved on to other things without really thinking about it. But I still want to read it. If you guys don't know, Elisha is a character in the Bible. He's a prophet, so the title is based off of that. It's about this lady who has foresight, or she gets visions. One day she has a vision of this lady getting murdered in a park, and she has this vision from the perspective of the woman getting murdered, which is like terrifying. But then her husband is like the owner of a big corporation, and he has this guy applying for a job, and they go out for supper with him, and right away she just has this like feeling like this is the guy. This is the guy that murdered this woman in the park, and I saw it. But the problem is her husband doesn't really he's not a religious person. He doesn't believe her, basically, is the bottom line. So she's trying to convince him that he should not hire this guy, because she can't prove it, but she just knows. She just knows in her heart that this guy is a murderer and a psychopath, apparently, and that sounds really exciting, but that's actually the part where I stopped reading. In a way, I'm excited to dive back into this book and complete it. In a way, I'm also sort of not, because I already gave it a chance, but it wasn't enough of a chance, I know, and that's why it was still in my TBR jar. And I'm hoping that I end up really liking it. You never know. Those are all the books that I am planning in my June TBR. I hope that I have left enough room to also read some other books. So if you guys have read any of these books and you really like it, don't spoil anything for me, but let me know in the comments which ones you love and which ones you plan on reading or whatever. And I'm really excited to see you guys' June TBRs start to come out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're having a great day. Bye! kitty kisses.